Good evening, all of you. I hope you all are doing well. And today we're going to study the current affairs from the September month, especially from 21st to 30th September of 2021. Okay, we're going to study in detail section wise current affairs in this session. Okay, let's start the session. First section is banking and economy news. So in that first news was government set up the India Debt Resolution Company Limited. In short, it is IDRCL. Okay. So our central government recently they have set up the India Debt Resolution Company Limited. Okay. What is that? IDRCL. It is to maintain the bad loans. Okay. To manage the bad loans. Okay. It is one of the entity set up by the government itself to manage the bad loans. Here you need to understand what is bad loans. Okay. So before going into the bad loans, first, we need to study about the IDRCL. Okay, it is one form of a service company and paid up capital is rupees 80.5 lakh rupees. Next, authorized capital is 50 crore rupees. Okay, then public sector banks and public FIS will hold the maximum of 49% of the stake, but the remaining stake will be with the private sector lenders. That is 51% stake of the IDRCL company will be with the private sector lenders, and remaining 49% of the stake will be with the public sector and public FIS, that is financial institutions. Okay, so this is all about the this service company, India Debt Resolution Company Limited. So here, what is bad loans? So that is the question. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. If you have read anything about the bad loans in economy, let me know in the comment section. What is bad loan? Do you have any idea about bad loans? See, bad loan is nothing but it is one form of a amount of money. It is okay. It is a one amount of money. Okay, so that is to a creditor. It is one amount of money owed to a creditor that is unlikely to be paid. Say, for example, person A is taking loan from the any financial institution or bank, but he is unable to refund that. He is unable to return that for a very long time. Okay, so the those amount is called as the bad loan. Okay, so in different name we're going to call the bad loans. That is non-performing asset, bad debts. Okay, all are same. So those things are called as bad loans. To manage such bad loans, this company is established. What is that company? IDRCL. Okay, so I hope this you understood what is bad loans. Next we move on to the paid up capital. Okay, what is paid up capital? You have any idea about what paid up capital? Okay, I will tell you. See, the paid up capital, it is also one form of the money. It is amount of money a company has received from the shareholders in exchange for the shares of stock. Say, for example, when a company is going to start, it is going to issue the shares. Okay, so how a company is going to start? Say, for example, a company IDRCL is going to start. It needs lot of money as the capital. Okay, simply it cannot be started like that. It need lot of money, that is called as capital. What it will do, it will issue the shares. Those are also called as stakes. Okay, there will be a stock market, there will be the primary market, secondary market. So in detail you're going to study in economy if you're not yet studied. Okay, so as of now remember there will be the stock market. So in that, primary market will be there, secondary stock market will also be there. So whenever a company is going to set up, it will issue a lot of shares as documents in the primary market. So that is called as the initial public offering. Okay, IPO. So whenever the company get amount of money from that initial public offering, so that is called as paid up capital. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Whenever it is one form of amount of money a company has received from the shareholders in exchange for the shares of stock. So especially in the primary market, so that too in the initial public offering. So that is called as paid up capital. So that paid up capital for IDRCL is 80.5 lakh rupees. So next we move on to the authorized capital. So authorized capital is nothing but it is the maximum amount of share capital that a company is allowed to issue to its shareholders as per the constitutional documents. See, legally it can issue up to so and so amount of rupees. Okay, it is one form of the paid up capital only, but the difference is it is the maximum amount of share capital that a company can issue. When it comes to the paid up capital, it is actually what amount of money it has received from the shareholders. That is called as paid up capital. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So that is the difference between the authorized capital and the paid up capital. Okay, so authorized capital for the IDRCL is 50 crore rupees. And we have studied 49% of the stake will be with the public sector banks and public financial institutions. Next 51% will be with the private sector lenders. Okay, this is all about the government recently has set up the India Debt Resolution Company Limited IDRCL. Okay, these terms are very important. Sometimes they ask in examination what is paid up capital, what is authorized capital, even what is primary stock market, secondary market, what is initial public offering. So these are the basic and very important economic terms. Okay, you need to remember clearly. Okay, I hope this clearly. So next issue is the RBI allows the lenders to sell fraud loans to the asset reconstruction companies. Okay, see, this ideal RCL it is for the bad loans, and this asset reconstruction companies also do same similar kind of work. Okay, say for example, a bank is suffering from lot of non-performing asset. Not only bank, any financial institution it is suffering from lot of NPAs. Then what it will do? See, if NPA is a lot of NPA amount is there with the bank or any financial institution, and all its concentration will be concentrated towards the NPA only, those bad loans only. It will not do normal functions normally. Okay, so because of that, asset reconstruction companies will help such banks and financial institution to reconstruct those assets and make them make their day-to-day life easier. Okay, so because of that, asset reconstruction companies are there. Okay, so the declaration of those asset fraud loans by the banks for various financial years are given. Say for example, this 2020 and 2021 financial year, the bad loans is worth rupees 1.37 trillion. Okay, so you need to remember that for this year 2020 and 2021, the bad loan they have declared as rupees 1.37 crore trillion, 1.37 trillion rupees. Okay, in the previous year 2019 and 20, it was 1.81 trillion. It was declared as the fraud money. Next 2018 and 19, so that loan worth is 64,539 crore rupees. Okay, so this much amount of money is declared as the fraud loans in the various financial year. So here you need to remember for the year 2020 and 2021, that is financial year 21, what is the amount of money they have declared as the fraud? 1.37 rupees. Okay, 1.37 trillion rupees. So that is declared as the fraud. Okay, you don't have to remember the previous ones. At least you try to remember the current ones. Okay, current event. Okay, current ones. That is 1.37 trillion rupees. Okay, this is all about the asset reconstruction companies and how much of the money they have declared as the fraud for various financial years. Okay. So next issue is RBI sets up the ways, means and advance, that is WMA. So what is WMA? Ways and means advance. Okay, so remember that. If you don't know about it, just write it down. What is WMA? Ways and means advance. Okay. So this limit they have set up recently for the central government for up to October 2021 to March 2022, it is at the rate of 50,000 crore rupees. Okay. So what is ways and means advance? If you know anything about this, let me know in the comment section. What is ways and means advance? Any idea? See, WMAs are nothing but it is form of the temporary advances. It is given by the Reserve Bank of India to the states. Okay, say for example, if government is suffering with any mismatches in its receipts or payments, okay, in that moment of time, RBI will temporarily give the advances for the government. So that is called as the ways and means advances. Okay, there are different ways and means advances are there, special ways and means advances and normal ways and means advances. Okay, so special means it will be backed by security. Okay, then normal means it is a clear advance, there is no security for it. Okay, that is the difference between the special and normal WMAs. So that you will study in the economy. So as of now, remember, there is something called as ways and means advances. It is one of the mechanism by the RBI. In that, it will give temporary advances to the government for any mismatches happen in the government receipt or payment. Okay, so such WMA limit has been set up by the RBI, that is at the rate of 50,000 crore rupees. Okay, what is the time period? October 2021 to March 2022. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So next, NPCI partners with the S Bank to launch the RuPay on the go payment solution. It is like an app, okay, on the go payment solution. So NPCI, it has partnered with the S Bank. It launched the RuPay on the go payment solution. That you need to remember. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, so remember about the IDRCL. So next is about asset reconstruction companies. Next, WMAs, and this on the go. Okay, I hope this is clear. So next we're going to study the international news. Iran becomes the 9th member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Okay, Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a one form of grouping. Lot of groupings are there, right? G20, G7, BRICS is there, BIMSTEC is there. Lot of organizations are there. So Shanghai Cooperation Organization is also one form of the grouping. Before 8 members were there in that SCO. Now Iran became the 9th member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Okay, so that you need to remember. In examination, they're going to ask. So recently, which country had joined the Shanghai Cooperation Organization? You need to remember it is Iran. Okay, next, Justin Trudeau wins the historic 3rd term as the Prime Minister of Canada. Okay, this is the 3rd term. He is going to be the Prime Minister of Canada. So what is the name of that person? Justin Trudeau. Next, Bitcoin founder Satoshi Nakamoto's first ever statue in bronze unveiled in the Budapest, Hungary. So this is very important. In examination, they might ask. Okay, so Bitcoin's founder, who is that? Satoshi Nakamoto. That is his name. It is anonymous name. Okay, anonymous name. Nobody knows who is the founder of Bitcoins. Bitcoin is there, right? Some countries, they have legalized the Bitcoins. That is cryptocurrencies. Some countries, they have not been legalized the cryptocurrencies or even the Bitcoins. But anyhow, that is another issue. The founder of the Bitcoin is Satoshi Nakamoto. It is not his real name. It is anonymous name. He has given it to himself. Okay. The first ever statue of that Satoshi Nakamoto, it has been unveiled in the Budapest, Hungary. So that you need to remember. Where is that statue? Budapest, Hungary. Okay. Next, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak launches the new space startup, that is Privateer Space. It is in partnership with the Rifcord Inc. founder Alex Fielding. Okay, so here you need to remember what is this Privateer Space. It is one of the new space startup. It is developed by the Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak and the Rifcord Inc. founder Alex Fielding. That you need to remember. Okay. So next, North Korea tests the hypersonic missile Hwasong 8. In examination, they will ask. Recently, Hwasong 8, it was in news. It is related to which company? Okay, sorry, it is related to which country? So you need to remember North Korea. And sometimes they will give the name Hwasong 8, whether it is a missile or any virus or Trojan, like that, they will give 4 options. So here you need to clearly remember it is one of the hypersonic missile. It is developed by the North Korea. They have tested also. Okay, so remember Hwasong 8. It is belongs to the North Korea. It is one of the hypersonic missile. Sometimes you will get confused with China. Okay, because the names are similar. So clearly remember Hwasong 8, it is one of the hypersonic missile. It is belongs to the North Korea. Okay, I hope this is clear. Next, we're going to study the national news. See, Uttar Pradesh government, it has cleared the proposal to develop an electronic park along the Yamuna Expressway Industrial Development Authority. So this is also called as IDA. What is IDA? Yamuna Expressway Industrial Development Authority area. So it is near the Noida. So they have recently cleared the proposal to develop the electronic park near this IDA. It is near the Noida in Uttar Pradesh. It is to promote the electronics industries. Okay, so remember, recently which state has approved to develop the electronic park near the Noida? you need to remember it is Uttar Pradesh. Okay. Next, CISF woman Geeta Samota becomes the fastest Indian to summit 2 peaks in Africa and Russia. Okay, so what is her name? Geeta Samota. Remember that. He is the fastest Indian, okay, to climb the 2 peaks in Africa and Russia. She scaled the Mount Elbrus. Okay, so remember, Mount Elbrus, it is in the Russia. It is at the height of 5,642 meters. Okay, so she scaled this Mount Elbrus in Russia on the August 13, 2021. Next one peak is Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay, very famous Mount Kilimanjaro. It is at the height of 5,895 meters. Okay, she scaled it on the September 11, 2021. The Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest peak in the Africa. It is located in the Tanzania. Okay, so 2 peaks. What are those? Mount Elbrus, it is in the Russia. Mount Kilimanjaro, it is in the Africa, specifically in the Tanzania. Okay, so she is the fastest Indian to summit the 2 peaks in Africa and Russia. So remember her name, Geeta Samota. Okay, next, 2 more Indian beaches get the International Blue Flag certification. Okay, what is the Blue Flag certification? Anybody let me know in the comment section if you know anything about the Blue Flag. See, Blue Flag certification, nothing but whenever a beach has the Blue Flag certification, it is called as the more eco-friendly one, not pollution. Okay, pollution free and eco-friendly beach. Such beaches are certified with the Blue Flag. So recently, another 2 more Indian beaches get the International Blue Flag certification. One is Kovalam, it is in the Tamil Nadu. Another one is Eden Beach, it is in the Pondicherry. Okay, you need to remember these two. Kovalam, Tamil Nadu. Another one beach is Eden, it is in the Pondicherry. So now totally India has the 10 beaches with the coveted International Eco Label Blue Flag. Okay, so before that, 8 have the Blue Flag certification. Now 2 are added. Kovalam, it is in the Tamil Nadu. Another one is Eden in the Pondicherry. Totally 10 number of beaches are there which has the Blue Flag certification. Okay. Next, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. In short, it is PFRDA. Okay, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority to observe the National Pension System Divas on the October 1, 2021. So National Pension System Divas, when they are going to celebrate it? October 1, 2021. Okay, so this is observed by the PFRDA, that you need to remember. Next, world's highest EV charging station, that is electronic vehicle charging station. It is inaugurated at the height of 500 feet at Khaja of Lahore and Spiti district in the Himachal Pradesh. So here you need to remember the Himachal Pradesh state is important because it is the world's highest electronic vehicle charging station. Okay, it has been developed in the India, especially in the Himachal Pradesh. Okay, it is at the height of 500 feet. Okay, so you need to remember that, where they have developed the world's highest EV charging station at the Himachal Pradesh. Okay, that you need to remember. Okay. Next, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. 3 components of the mission includes the Digital Health ID, Healthcare Professionals Registry, and Healthcare Facilities Registries. Okay, so Digital Ayushman Bharat Mission. Okay, Ayushman Bharat Mission is there from 2014 itself, but it is the digital form. Okay, Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So what are the 3 components they have included in this Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission? It includes the Digital Health ID. It is nothing but it is one 14-digit health identification number. Okay, like how we have UPI ID, how we have different IDs, right? So this digital health ID, it is one of the unique 14-digit health identification number. It is one of the component of the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. Second thing is Healthcare Professionals Registry. So whatever the doctors are there, any primary caretakers are there, ASHA workers are there. So those healthcare professional registry will be maintained. So next, healthcare facilities registries, whatever the facilities they are giving. So that registry will also be there in the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. So these are the 3 components they have recently included. Okay, I hope this is clear. So next, Sweet Cucumber of Nagaland, it gets the geographical identification, or you can say geographical indication tag. Okay, so what is this GI tag? Anybody let me know in the comment section. From Karnataka also we have a lot of things which have got the GI tag, geographical indication tag. See, whenever any item or any plant or any flower, tree, whatever it get the GI tag, it means it is very specific to that particular area. Like we have Darjeeling tea in Assam, right? So that tea is very specific to that particular geographical area. Okay, same tree cannot be grown in other parts. Same taste will not be there. Okay, so any things which are specific to that particular geography, so those things are identified with the geographical indication tag. So recently, sweet cucumber of the Nagaland, it has got the geographical identification tag, or you can say geographical indication tag. In short, it is GI tag. In examination, they're gonna ask. So recently, sweet cucumber, it was in news, and it also got the GI tag. It belongs to the which state? So like that question will come. You need to specifically remember it is belongs to the Nagaland. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Next, Sojat Mehendi from Rajasthan and Judima rice wine from the Assam. It also got the GI tag. Okay, so here three GI tags are there. One is sweet cucumber, belongs to the Nagaland. See, whenever the GI tag news will come, you need to make a column. Okay, two columns. The items, one column, another column is with it belongs to the which state or union territory. That you need to remember. Okay, lot of GI tags items are there. You need to specifically remember they belongs to which state or which union territory of India. Okay, you need to remember only India's GI tag items. Okay, sweet cucumber, Nagaland. Next, Sojat Mehendi, it is belongs to the Rajasthan. Next, Judima rice wine, it belongs to the Assam. Okay, so these three items recently got the GI tag. Next, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment launches the Elder Line. Okay, so Elder Line toll free number 14567. Okay, Tata Trust and NSC Foundation are the technical partners for the Elder Line. It is nothing but it's one form of the online platform. It is named as Elder Line. Okay, the toll free number is also given 14567. It is to help the society. Okay, so that is the Elder Line. Tata Trust and NSC Foundation, they are the technical partners for the Elder Line. Okay, so here what you need to remember is Elder Line, it is developed by which ministry? That you need to remember. So it is developed by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay. Next, now we're going to study the different appointments that happened in the September month. See, Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary, they appointed as the Chief of Air Staff. Okay, so remember, what is the name? Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary. They have recently appointed as the Chief of Air Staff. Next, former UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown, he appointed as the World Health Organization Ambassador for Global Health Financing. Okay, what is the name? Gordon Brown. He was the former UK Prime Minister. They have been recently appointed as the WHO's Ambassador for Global Health Financing. Okay. Next, MasterCard ropes in World Chess Champion Magnus Carlsen. Okay, is as the global brand ambassador. Okay, so remember his name, Magnus Carlsen. Next, CK Ranganathan. They have been recently appointed as the new president of All India Management Association. In short, it is AIMA. It is for the period of 1 year till September 2022. Okay, so remember his name, CK Ranganathan. They have been recently appointed as the new president of All India Management Association. Okay, AIMA Association for the period of 1 year up to the September 2022. Okay, so next we're going to study the conferences in news. So first conference is first in-person Quad Leaders Summit. It held at the White House in the Washington. Quadrilateral Security Dialogue nation comprises of the India, United States, Australia, and Japan. You might have heard about the Quad in news. Okay, daily in newspaper, not daily. You will see very oftenly this Quad grouping. So Quad is nothing but Quadrilateral Security Dialogue Group. It consists of 4 nations. One is India, another one is United States, Australia, and Japan. So here you need to remember these 4 countries which consist of the Quad group. Okay, what are those countries? India, India, United States of America, Australia, and Japan. So recently they have held the Quad Leaders Summit at the White House or in Washington. It is in the USA, right? So this is the first in-person Quad Leaders Summit recently held in the White House in the Washington. So here you need to remember what are the different countries involved in the quad grouping. That is very, very important, because in examination they will give the quad consists of which of the following countries. Okay, they will give USA, Australia, Japan, India. Sometimes to make you confused, they will give China, Iran, Russia, and all. Okay, so specifically you need to remember it has consist of 4 countries: India, USA, Australia, and Japan. Okay, so these are they have recently met in the White House in Washington, and they have made the Quad Leaders Summit. Okay, next, Cooperation Minister Amit Shah addresses the first National Cooperative Conference in the New Delhi. So remember, National Cooperative Conference. This is the first National Cooperative Conference. It held in the New Delhi. It was addressed by the Amit Shah. He is the Cooperation Minister. Next, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi addresses the 76th session of the United States General Assembly on September 25th, 2021 in New York. Okay, so here you need to remember the theme of the UNGA Summit. UNGA is nothing but United Nations General Assembly Summit. Okay, so what was the theme of 2021? See, building resilience through hope to recover from COVID-19, rebuild sustainability, respond to the needs of the planet, respect the rights of people, and revitalize the United Nations. So this is a very big theme. It is in the UNGA. Okay, remember the theme: building resilience through hope to recover from COVID-19, rebuild the sustainability, respond to the needs of the planet, respect the rights of people, and revitalize the United Nations. So this was the theme, and our Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 76th session of the UNGA. Okay, that you need to remember in the New Year. Next, fourth Indo-US Health Dialogue. It was held in the New Delhi. Okay, so this is the fourth Indo-US Health Dialogue. 3 have been already happened. So this is the fourth one. Where it was held? It was held in the New Delhi, India. Okay. Next, we're going to study the defense news. Third India-Indonesia bilateral maritime exercise, Samudra Shakti, begins in the Sunda Strait, Indonesia. Here, many bilateral, multilateral exercises will come. Okay, see, bilateral exercise means 2 countries will be involved, 2 countries army force, or you can say maritime navy force or air force. They combine together and they will do the exercise. So those things are called as bilateral exercise. So recently, the third edition of Indo-Indonesia, that is India and Indonesia bilateral maritime exercise happened. The name of that exercise is Samudra Shakti. Okay, it got began in the Sunda Strait, belongs to the Indonesia. Okay, so in examination they will ask Samudra Shakti. It is one of the bilateral exercise, maritime exercise, happened between which of the 2 countries. Okay, here you need to remember India and Indonesia. Likewise, many bilateral exercises, many multilateral exercises will come. You need to make one big list of it, which countries are involved and what is the name of the exercise. Okay, so you will study every day the current affairs. So whenever the these exercises will come, you need to note it down. Okay, that way you need to make the practice. Okay, next, DRDO conducts the successful maiden flight test of the new version of Akash missile. What is the name of that Akash missile? Akash Prime of Akash Prime. It off to the Odisha coast. Okay, so this was the successful flight test of the Akash missile. The name is Akash Prime. So that is not important. Here you need to remember Samudra Shakti belongs to the India and Indonesia. Okay. Next, we're going to study the books and authors. See, here I made 2 columns. One is book name, another one is author's name. Here, first book is 400 Days. See, 400 Days, it is written by the Chetan Bhagat. Okay, very famous author. Next is Jangal Nama. Okay, Jangal Nama, it is written by the Amitav Ghosh. And third book is The Long Game, How the Chinese Negotiate with India. So the author is Vijay Gokhale. Next, The Fractured Himalaya, How the Fast Shadows the Present in India-China Relations. It is written by Nirupama Rao. Okay, so these are the 4 different books they were in news. Once again I repeat, 400 days, it is written by Chetan Bhagat. Jungle Nama, it is written by Amitav Ghosh. Next, The Long Game, how the Chinese negotiate with the India, it is written by the Vijay Gokhale. And last one is The Fractured Himalaya, how the fast shadows the present in India China relations, it is written by the Nirupama Rao. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So next we move on to the apps and service section. So recently Supreme Court introduced the new system, that is faster system, for transferring the e-authenticated copies from courts to the prisons. So what is FASTER stand for? See, FASTER stands for fast and secure transmission of electronic records. Okay, so in examination they're going to ask, recently FASTER system was introduced by whom, like that the question will come. You need to remember it is by the Supreme Court, introduced by the Supreme Court. And what is the purpose of FASTER system? It is to transfer the e-authenticated copies from different courts to the prisons. Okay, so it is one of the encrypted and secured system named as the FASTER system to transfer the lot of e-authenticated copies from courts to the prisons. Whenever the prisons needed any documents from the courts, they can transfer it to the this system. Okay, through this system, FASTER system. And what is the FASTER acronym? Fast and secured transmission of the electronic records, that you need to remember. Next, Champions portal of the Ministry of Micro and Small Medium Enterprises for MSME Udyan registration, it crosses the 50 lakh mark. So here you need to remember Champion is a portal. Okay, so Champions is a portal. It is introduced by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Okay, so remember Ministry of MSME, that you need to remember. Champions portal. It has recently marked the registration of 50 lakh people. So that's why it was in the news. So you need to remember Champion portal is introduced by which ministry, like how the FASTER system is introduced by which entity. See, FASTER system, it is introduced by the Supreme Court, and Champions portal, it is introduced by the Ministry of MSME. That you need to remember. Okay. Next we're going to study the ranking section. India ranked at the 46th position in the Global Innovation Index of 2021. So this Global Innovation Index, it was released by the World Intellectual Property Organization. In short, it is WIPO. See, many indexes will come in your day-to-day current affairs when you study the newspaper. See, whenever you see the indexes or any ranking, you also make the list of it. Okay, like how this Global Innovation Index 2021, it is released by the World Intellectual Property Organization. It is in short called as WIPO. And which country tops this Global Innovation Index? It is the Switzerland. And what is the position of India? 46th position. Not so good. Okay, 46th position India got, and Switzerland is at the top position. That you need to remember. Next, FESI released the third edition of State Food Safety Index 2021. Top state in the largest state category is Gujarat. Okay, so here you need to remember State Food Safety Index. Who is the launching authority of that? FSI, FSSAI. It launched the third edition of the State Food Safety Index for the year 2020 and 2021. And they have made the different categories in that. One is larger state category, another one is smaller state category, and union territories. 3 different categories are there. In the larger state category, Gujarat top in this particular index, State Food Safety Index. It means Gujarat has a lot of food safety things. Okay, so in the larger state category, Gujarat tops. Next, come to the smaller state category. It is Goa. Okay, Goa topped. Next is Union Territories category. It is Jammu and Kashmir. That you need to remember. Okay, larger state category, Gujarat is at the first rank. Smaller state category, Goa is at the first rank, and the Union Territories category, Jammu and Kashmir is there. Okay, at the top. So that you need to remember. And this State Food Safety Index, it is released by the FSSAI. That also you need to remember. Okay. Next, we're gonna study some sports news. Okay. Warangal-based R. Raja Ritvik, he becomes the India's 70th chess grandmaster. Okay, you need to remember R. Raja Ritvik. He is the 70th chess Grandmaster of India. Next, Together for a Shared Future launched as the official motto of the Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games Beijing 2022. So you need to remember the motto also. Even if you have seen the UPSC question paper, prelims question paper, which has happened in the October 10th, they have asked the motto also. Okay, the pattern is changing. Sometimes they're gonna ask the mottos of the different Olympics or Paralympics or different sports. Okay, so here together for a shared future. So this was the motto of the Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games Beijing 2022. That you need to remember. Next, Pankaj Advani wins the Red Snooker World Cup 2021. Okay, you need to remember his name, Pankaj Advani. He wins the Red Snooker World Cup Award 2021. Next, Odisha to host the FIH Hockey's Men's Junior World Cup 2021 in the Bhubaneswar from November 24 to December 5, 2021. Okay, so remember Odisha is the hosting state. Next, Lewis Hamilton wins the Russian Grand Prix 2021. What is his name? Lewis Hamilton. He wins the Russian Grand Prix 2021. So next, India claims the 3 silver medals at 2021 Archery World Championship in Yankton, United States. Okay, so it is in the Archery World Championship. It happened in Yankton, United States. India claimed the 3 silver medals. So one is winners list are given. Women's compound individual Jyoti Sureka Vennam. Okay. Next, women's compound team category Jyoti Sureka Vennam, Mushkar Kirat and Priya Gurjar. These people won the silver medals in the Archery World Championship held in Yankton, United States. Okay, they have won the 3 silver medals for India. Okay. Next, another one is compound mixed team, Abhishek Verma and Jyoti Sureka Vennam. So these are the 3 different categories and 3 silver medals for India. Okay. So next we're going to study the important days category. Okay. International Week of Deaf People 2021. So this has been seen on September 26. And what was the theme of this year? Celebrating thriving deaf communities. That was the theme. So whenever the important days will come, you need to remember the themes also. Okay, like how we have studied International Week of Deaf People. It has been seen on September 20 to 26. What was the theme? Celebrating the thriving deaf and communities. Thriving deaf communities. That was the theme. Okay. Next, International Day of Peace. Very important. International Day of Peace. It has been celebrated on 21st September, and theme of the 2021 is recovering better for an equitable and sustainable world. Okay, that was the theme. What is the theme? Recovering better for an equitable and sustainable world. That was the theme for International Day of Peace. Next, World Alzheimer's Day. It has been celebrated on again September 21st, and theme was now dementia, now Alzheimer's. That was the theme. So next, World Rhino Day. So World Rhino Day has been celebrated on 22nd September. Okay, and International Day of Sign Languages is celebrated on 23rd September, and this Sign Languages Day theme was we sign for human rights. Okay, we sign for human rights. That was the theme. Next, Antyodaya Divas. Antyodaya Divas, very important. It is celebrated on 25th September. Okay, so remember Antyodaya Divas is very, very important. It is celebrated on 25th September. And what was the purpose of this Antyodaya Divas? To mark the birth anniversary of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyaya. Okay, so to commemorate his birth anniversary, they have started the Antyodaya Divas on 25th September. Next, World Pharmacist Day. Again, it is on the 25th September, and theme was pharmacy always trusted for your health. That was the theme. So here, what is important is Antyodaya Divas, very, very important. Next, International Day of Peace. These two are very important. Try to remember the themes of that. Okay. Next, World Environmental Health Day. Very, very important again. World Environmental Health Day celebrated on the 26th September. And theme of this year is prioritizing environmental health for healthier communities in global recovery. That was the theme. Okay. World Environmental Health Day celebrated on 26th September. So next, International Day for the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. It is celebrated on the 26th September. Next, World Rivers Day. World Rivers Day, it is also celebrated on 26th September, that is fourth Sunday of September. Theme was waterways in our communities. Okay, so remember, waterways in our communities. That was the theme of the World Rivers Day. Next, World Tourism Day. It is celebrated on 27th September and theme is tourism for inclusive growth. Okay, tourism for inclusive growth. That was the theme. Next, World Rabies Day. It is celebrated on 28th September and theme of this year is rabies facts, not fear international, not fear. International Day for Universal Health. That was the theme. Next, World Heart Day. It is celebrated on 29th September and theme is use heart to connect. Okay, that is the theme. Use heart to connect. Next, International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste. It is celebrated again on the 29th September and theme of this year was Stop Food Loss and Waste for the people, for the planet. That was the theme. Next, International Translation Day. International Translation Day was celebrated on 30th September and theme of this year is United in Translation. That was the theme. Okay, so these are the different and very important days in the September month. Okay, that you need to remember. So here all the days are not important because every day will be the different day and every day will have different theme. Here you need to remember, pick and choose. You need to do pick and choose what are very important. Like World Rivers Day is important. Okay, World Rivers Day is important and try to remember when the World River Day is going to happen and what was the theme that you need to remember. Next, World Tourism Day is also important because tourism is one of the important factor for the economy. So that's why tourism for inclusive growth was the theme this year. So likewise, you need to remember. All day you don't have to remember and all the themes you don't have to remember. Okay, only some important days you need to remember which are very specific for the examination, which is going to come in the examination. Okay, that things you need to remember. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. So next, in this topic, you learned the current affairs from September 21st to 30, 2021. If you have any doubts regarding these topics, let me know in the comment section.